This episode is brought to you by Ubaidur Rahman, Prestige Wealth Manager from MFA. Ubaidur Rahman, a Prestige Wealth Manager from MFA Group, has over 4 years of experience helping individuals achieve a secure and peaceful retirement. He specializes in Sharia-compliant financial strategies, ensuring clients' financial goals are met through halal solutions. From retirement planning to zakat on investments and estates planning, he offers expert guidance to align financial security with Islamic principles. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma inna nas'aluka ridhaka wal jannah wa na'udzubika min sakhatika wan nar. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and welcome back to Raudatul Jannah podcast. Kita still dengan Ustazah Wan Nadia. So Ustazah, thank you for the first 2 episodes tadi you share pasal vices of the heart, so virtues of the heart kan, macam dia punya good characteristics, and then also the bad qualities of the heart lah. Okay, tadi you cakap you mention, got one part you mention tu macam pasal whatever that our, macam the state of our heart will show in our actions, correct? And then macam it will show through whatever that we do lah, macam whatever that our limbs do. So are there any correlations to that with what we want to talk about today, which is the vices of the limbs?
Very much, insyaAllah.
Yes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah alamin. Wassalatu wassalam. Yes, so
I think you put the mic a bit.
How?
I just macam push a bit in front.
Gini.
Boleh dengar? Can you hear yourself?
Bismillah.
Okay. Tadi tak dengar.
So yes, so we want to talk about the vices of the limbs kan. It is very interlinked. I think they work together sort of. Kalau macam A buat something, B akan terasa. B buat something, A akan terasa. Macam itu. Yeah, so now we have, like I mentioned earlier on, we have to agree to the premise kan, that we are dual entity, physical and also spiritual. And the core spiritual part is the heart. Yeah, so when the heart is healthy with things and tak ada titik-titik hitam dan sebagainya, it will be reflected through our limbs. Okay. At the same time, also it can also go the other way around. For example, if a person has good habits, for example, dia suka cakap baik ke, for example, dia tak maki hamun dan sebagainya, then it can also have an effect on the soul juga. Yeah, and when the person buat benda yang tak baik, okay, mencuri ke, memaki hamun ke, buat benda yang jahat lah, macam-macam lagi, yeah, it also has an effect on the spirituality juga, or the roh, on the heart juga. So it works both ways. So if you want yourself or the person to have a healthy heart, dua-dua kena bagus lah. Yeah, so again it works simultaneously. So some vices of the heart and some of the punya obat lah, the remedies for that. And first and foremost, and the most notorious one is the tongue. Yeah. Okay, the tongue ni dia tak ada tulang, tapi dia boleh sakitkan hati orang sampai bila-bila dia boleh ingat. It's so painful. May Allah protect us from the voice of the tongue. I mean, so definitely one of the notorious thing is backbiting. Yeah, backbiting. And there's also a specific verse in Surah Al-Hujurat, and you don't find it in other parts of the Quran. And some of the beauty of the Quran, sometimes Allah has to remind you sekali je. Itu je. I say once, don't ever do it. Kan, kalau macam tadi apa tu Surah Rahman, the few fabi ayat lah kan, is to remind, gentle reminder. This one macam I just tell you once, I will not going to repeat that macam gitu. Jadi and Allah SWT gives this analogy or metaphor, you suka tak makan daging saudara you? You tak suka kan? Kalau tak suka, jangan buat lah. So I give you another metaphor. You pergi sate by the bay. Okay. You makan sate, you makan barbecue. Only to realize that it's your friend's meat, your friend's flesh. Isn't that disgusting?
Yeah.
And what you're doing when you're eating that, consuming that, is really when you're talking about that person lah. The bad things about that person. And when you say, tapi benda tu betul lah apa? Exactly. Because benda tu betul, benda tu jahat, that makes it mengumpat. And because if it were true, and because it is true lah, dia jadi mengumpat. And if it's not true, that's called slander. Yeah, so either way you buat, dua-dua tak boleh. Yeah, so that is mengumpat, backbiting. And the FAQ would be, what if we are sitting in a place, tapi kita dengar, we are not contributing, but we are listening. That's one of the FAQ lah. And then the thing that I would like always advise, even to remind myself, to bangun, angkat kaki. It's not easy tau. It's not easy, but you really just have to. And they will say, alah, jangan start alim lah, start baik lah. Tapi if you sincerely, genuinely want to be better, at one point, eventually, you will feel uncomfortable staying there. You just want to excuse yourself. You just rather sit in the toilet longer.
Find some reasons to go.
I mean, main dengan kucing.
That's true.
You better do that than sitting there. Pasal you will feel awkward. And then because you cannot stop, you nanti kena kecam juga kan. So you walk away. And they say, but I'm not contributing. But even listening, you may just like agreeing. You hear things which may be painful to hear, and it will leave a perception. It will develop certain perceptions of that person that you're talking about. I mean not that person.
That's true.
Macam kita tengah buat item bermayu, cakap, tahu tak si Fatimah tu kan gini. Fatimah ni siapa dia berbual. Then eventually out of the blue, Singapore kan kecil. Then eventually this is Fatimah. Then you macam,
ni yang dia tu cakap
it will develop things in your head. That's why this is one of the things that Salam pun nak kita elakkan. We don't want to develop bad things or bad perceptions of other people. But even though you're listening about that juga, because I think this is one narration. The story goes like that, but yang maksud dia macam ni. Someone came to Rasulullah and said something about that person, and he said, "Why do you tell me? Oh, because this person is this. You didn't have to tell me, because if you didn't tell me, I will know the person is such as that. I don't need to know. It's not important piece of information. Now that if you make the person, other people know, it will develop certain perception of that person, and people akan pandang seorang orang tu. So again, orang yang akan mengumpat is just then. We have no idea what's going in the mind. People overthink now, kan? And people have a lot of overstimulation of the mind because you watch a lot of things. So yang akan mengumpat tu setakat mulut je. But you see what it does to the mind, and what the mind it can affect to the heart.
The effects are more than that.
It's many different levels lah. So maybe that's why one of the things where it is a bad trait of the tongue lah, that you really have to jaga. And one of the ways to get over it is to keep quiet. It's not easy to keep quiet kan. So other than that, what do we have? We have tadi mengumpat. Then we have slandering, fitnah. Slandering tu, yes, definitely we don't want to say bad things about others, or buat cerita pasal orang kan, or sensationalize things. I remember saying this to my students kat dalam kelas. If this gossip or sensationalizations of news or about celebrities ke apa semua kan, ni semua tak ada, magazines won't exist.
That's true.
Because what's going on now kan. So dia kan tak ada. Takkan ada semua. Pasal tu semua dah tu semua cerita-cerita gossip, because we don't know whether it's true or not. And people enjoy this because they don't know the truth. So they like to entertain those speculations. Correct. Then the other one is namimah. Namimah is mengadu domba. Mengadu domba is in other words macam batu api lah. Okay, so let's say we have A and B not in good terms. Okay, and then C comes in and say to B, kau tahu tak A cakap pasal gini kat engkau. And then C goes to A, you tahu tak B cakap ni pasal engkau. So they hate each other even more.
Macam menghasut lah.
Something like that. So C ni is doing namimah. Dia mengadu domba.
Okay.
It's a tail bearing, if that's the English, if I'm not wrong. So macam ada lah orang macam gini. Like what do you gain from these things? Macam sanggup like pergilah solat dengan pergi mengaji. It's even better. That you really make the time and effort to kau free tak jom kat kedai kopi sekejap, aku nak ada benda nak bilang kau. But it may or may not be true pun. And you're again making that person, building perceptions of that person, and making them hating that person even more. But entahlah kenapa lah macam sedap gitu, lagi banyak berbual lagi sedap kita nak menghasut orang kan, because you get to see the expression, reaction macam gitu. We don't know what kind of satisfaction that you get. Yeah, you may get more sins from that actually. And again, daripada lidah je. Yeah. Then the other one, what do we have? Cursing. Yes, cursing. So if we can just transform or replace the cursing with dhikir or selawat, kan? Because sometimes we have people that the curses or this bahasa-bahasa kesat ni is part of their vocabulary. At every sentence kadang mesti ada. So macam tak mula because but sometimes they do that sebab if I don't say I don't sound cool. So like oh really? Okay lah. And macam mana kita doakan jalan terbaik untuk mereka lah. Yeah, and kadang pun I have interacted with people where kita beri salam, they don't know how to jawab salam, and they say like hi, like hi but salam. Biasa jawab salam. Tapi tak apalah, kita pun okay lah, maybe dia tak biasa, so tak apa, kita biasa, we just inject the idea that maybe they get used to it lah, insyaAllah. Yeah. But sometimes they use that salam when they want to sell something to you. Assalamualaikum.
Yes.
But it's good, it's a sunnah that you spread salam, and kita pun wajib untuk salam, but don't use that there only, then spread the salam everywhere. Yeah, because that's also another hadith where Rasulullah salam also said, which means that spread salam, because there will be a point in time in life where you cuma beri salam dengan orang you kenal, and you should also beri salam to everyone. Yeah, and I think we have reached that point lah. Yeah, where kita beri salam orang kita kenal, tak kenal macam buat bodoh. Kadang kalau macam pergi majlis kejemputan, kita salam dengan orang kita kenal aja, walaupun satu meja.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Tengok orang tu macam aku tak kenal dia, macam awkwardnya. Salam je semua orang. Tak salah, tak dosa pun. In fact, when you salam tu, bersalaman tu, gugur dosa. Yeah, and the interesting thing also is salam, he doesn't let go first.
The other person will let go first.
So for them macam alamak, siapa menang sekarang so
masa gini next day kalau dia jumpa kawannya, just pegang je lah. Kalau orang tua dah tahu.
Yes, that has happened to me actually. Kita baca, let me show you. Kita kena berbual. Nanti sampai kita macam okay, ready, 1, 2, 3. It's so cute, subhanallah.
Yeah, okay.
So you can actually like dapat pahala from enjoying those little silaturahmi juga kan. Yeah. So tak apalah, tak kisah. So I remember my brother told me like, you try lah, just give salam to people. And it's not easy. I don't know lah, kita wanita susah sikit kan nak beri salam orang, kita macam segan macam-macam lagi. So I did try once. So the makcik said, do I know you? tak kenal. I mean tak pasal. It's okay, good try.
Effort.
But for the Muslimin memang senang. Sebab kalau kat masjid kan nampak Assalamualaikum, nampak pakai suku je Assalamualaikum semua kan. And Alhamdulillah juga you see like brothers who are not Malays, especially macam holidays, we have the Bangladeshi brothers for example kan, when they see us Muslim pakai songkok saja, they see this is a Muslim, because you see Muslim identity there. Diorang suka beri salam, and they pun happy beri salam. So I don't care who you are, jam tu beri salam.
Macam you cakap masa ni, I teringat macam kadang-kadang bila I turun, there was I think one incident few years back lah, I turun lift lah kat rumah kan, masa tengah jalan keluar. So there was this Bangladeshi brother, dia macam Assalamualaikum sister. Dia like asal berdiri. Dia macam apa kau?
Do I know you?
Dia macam should I reply, because dia macam perempuan dengan lelaki pun.
Ya, faham.
So macam mana? Dia macam jalan.
Why you never answer? My sister never answer.
Tapi I just senyum lah, just a tanda.
So that is one good thing that we can do, try to replace from all this, which is subhanallah. So beautiful lah. Rasulullah SAW memang dah ajar every little nitty-gritty thing in life to the extent of how to interact with others also. So, and this doesn't stop at Muslims also. It goes beyond other races and other religions juga. I'm not asking you to be some to non-Muslims, but just smile at them. It's sunnah kan, and greet them, good morning ke apa semua kan. Because if you notice, when we have friends of other races or religions, the first things you teach them of a different language is usually curses.
Yeah.
Why do you do that? Cakaplah bahasa benda lain kan, macam benda-benda yang baik dalam bahasa lainnya, you learn something else lah.
But I think sorry to cut you macam I think nowadays they are quite macam I see lah, non-Muslims, orang macam they how to say, orang dah tahu macam nak bagi salam. So kadang-kadang cakap Assalamualaikum, dia orang akan cakap Assalamualaikum. Dia macam how do you reply? Okay, in that sense, kalau macam a non-Muslim comes to you and say salam, do you reply for Waalaikumsalam ke? Because this is
dia you can decide whether you want to.
Okay, kita
sebab there are a few views of the term Assalam itself. Okay, so Assalam, of course, we understand as peace, betul? So we are also saying peace be upon you too.
Dia bukan Assalam dekat Kembangan ni.
Kat Tampines pun ada. Mana lagi you nak?
Lepas kelas kat Zuri terus pergi makan.
Belajar kat Zuhri?
Benar.
Oh, is it?
Ya, benar-benar.
Okay. Baiklah, yes.
Tapi I belajar bukan yang you ajar punya.
Part time
I ambil part time je.
So
I can relate.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
And then another one is the Assalam. For some scholars, they say that it's not only peace per se, but it's submission to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. So when we say to our brethren, we are saying that peace and submission to God upon you, you are making dua the same for them. So it doesn't relate to non-Muslims because they cannot relate that because they don't submit to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala.
But can we see that as a doa for them?
We can
only hidayah bila-bila nak kasih kan?
We can ask Allah for hidayah for them. Yeah, but kalau kita submissiveness means you have already submitted to Allah.
Oh, okay, faham.
Yeah. So you can just say waalaikum. Or likewise, yes, and to you, macam gitu. Yeah. So they have practice all that juga. Saya macam okay, tak apa. Because you also I have also seen social experiments where travelers travel to Muslim countries and they think that it's a form of greeting of good morning or hello. It's actually a doa. Ada orang pergi Pakistan, orang pergi Malaysia, Assalamualaikum, diorang memang jawab salam, tapi macam that is actually a doa, kan? So the doa for non-Muslims will be like, may Allah guide you lah, kan? Not asking them to submit in peace macam itulah. It's different altogether. So there are different views on that lah. And then the other one is kidhab, which is lying. So lying is one of the things which is also considered as a vice juga. Ada lagi banyak, but I will just stop at there for the vices of the tongue. And lying is it could be one of the roots to evil juga, bigger evils. Because once you start lying, it can be a form of addiction. It continues to lie and lie and lie to the extent that it eats you up, and until you don't even remember what you have lied about. So how you can test a person whether the person is lying or not, try to ask that person to repeat but ghostan.
Macam mana?
So macam for example, a person has lied about A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so tell the person, okay, can you repeat but backwards? Perhaps dia tak boleh keluar balik E, D, saya tak boleh buat balik E, D,
A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, E, D, C, B, A.
Macam gitu. Mungkin halfway through they cannot find what they said already. Okay, so that's one thing that you can try on yourself or try on other people jugalah, but not to test lah, but to see mana orang cakap betul ke tidak, kan people or not. And it's a dangerous tool or the vice of the tongue because it can cause a lot of gangguan dalam persahabatan, families. And also at work also, you say that you can do this but you actually cannot do that semua, kan? And it can also break amanah dan sebagainya lah. Because you're not telling the truth. And Muslims are not supposed to lie, whether it's big or small. You cannot even trick or lie to an animal, what more to a human being.
Macam main dengan kucing ke, macam kan you lari.
Main kita boleh, tapi kalau contoh macam like for horses for example, you want to call them to train for example, tapi you beat them with macam a dish of food. Dia dah sampai, then you take the dish away. Dia nak makan.
Mainkan perasaan dia lah.
Macam itu. So it's also kind of trick which you don't want to do jugalah. So you see again, it doesn't extend to humans only, but to other creatures also, like subhanallah. So those are the vices of the tongue. So in other words, if the person cannot keep quiet, then change all these things to benda-benda yang baik lah. Berzikir, berselawat, mengaji. Kalau tak, then just busy yourself introspecting yourself. Macam what have I done today? Talk to yourself. What have I done today? Have I do good things or not? Or talk to Allah SWT. And again, we think like talk to Allah lah, but for some it's not to talk to Allah pun. Pasal rasa mana Allah nak cakap aku banyak dosa. And say macam Allah dengar ke? Aku ni dah buat banyak jahat. Will he even listen to me or not? Like he will. Whether you want to choose to believe that he listens to you is a different thing altogether. That Allah can listen to you for all that matter. He can listen to that guy who pain kan, in his heart. Okay, that's number one. And number two, Allah doesn't need any language at all. You don't know what to say to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Your tears are a language. Your screaming is a language. Your silence, your thoughts semua are languages that Allah can understand, even though you don't know how to express it to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. So you can use all that, even though if you macam, Ya Allah, I have done something with my tongue, please help me. Then you tak tahu apa nak buat lagi. Ya Allah, please forgive me, this dah terbiasa sangat. So help me with that. So change all that lah to doa also. You should be very helpful lah, insyaAllah. Don't ever think that Allah will not answer you lah. Yang macam itu. Ya Allah. Berat
deep, deep say. Yeah, very deep, very deep. Because I think ni benda is very day to day. We speak a lot. Kan? Macam especially, and I think for women macam maybe it's our nature ke, tak tahulah, but we tend to be more inclined towards macam backbiting ke, atau macam to I cannot say backbiting lah, maybe gossips. Kan? So I think all these things kita nak kena slowly lah berubah. Like what you say lah, we try to switch it to something that is more beneficial for ourselves and for the people around us.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Tadi you cakap pasal berbohong kan, lying kan, and then you cakap kalau you berbohong pasal dekat tempat kerja, or maybe when you are applying for the job, and then you lied in your resume ke, or you lied during your interview that you can do this thing, tapi actually you tak boleh buat pun. Ni macam mana rezeki yang you dapat tu, is it considered rezeki yang tak berkat ke, macam mana? Yeah, because I've had a thought about this. Ini macam how to say like lah, is it considered macam rezeki yang tak berkat? Okay, I don't dare to say that dia rezeki haram, tapi is it considered tak macam berkat ke tak berkat?
I will answer you with a story. Then you can decide.
You all decide lah. Okay.
Yeah. And I think this pakcik memang set the bar really high. But I think that's the only correct way as an employee, for example. So there was, he bakes. He bakes. So he was baking bread. So satu hari tu dia tengah bake the bread, dan kawan dia lalu. Dia nampak dia Assalamualaikum. Yeah. And then we salam. So dia tengok dia buat bodoh. So kawan dia cakap, ni dia marah aku ke? So atau dia fikir macam aku kandungan dia ke apa ke, like tak nak jawab salam aku sampai gitu sekali kan. Then dia beri salam lagi tu, dia tengok tu dia buat bodoh. Then the friend just left. Yeah. So bila kedai bakery dah tutup, dah habis semua, dah settled, he met the friend lah. He bumped to the friend. Then he said, I apologize, I cannot jawab my salam to you. I dapat jawab salam dalam hati sebab if I jawab my salam, I'm in my working hours. I don't want to spend my breath, takut I tak amanah jawab salam tu, jawab dalam hati. Faham ke? So macam sampai gitu sekali. I mean, it's just a breath, but the breath is in the contract of my working hours. If you give salam to me time lunchtime ke apa ke, different thing lah, is outside of my working hours. You faham tak?
Wow.
So it goes down again to macam, even if person doesn't have in the resume, then some people tend to I nak print something personal things, but print at the office. Like macam mana tu? All that. And also to the extent macam, okay, you have food on the pantry. The food in the pantry is supposed to be eaten in the office. I don't bawa balik, I give my family member. But that's for the employees at the office. You faham tak? So the amanah tu macam mana? So the amanah macam itu, then if you lie in the resume, then macam mana? So if let's say if you want to say the requirements is you must be
maybe dia cakap macam I think let's simple lah, macam dia cakap in the resume, for example, I cakap okay, I'm very proficient in Microsoft Excel. I know how to do this, I know how to do that, I know the Excel features. Time kerja, okay, you try to do, I don't know. Terus Google macam nak buat.
So kalau macam kata must be profession these days. Kalau you tahu macam mana nak save pun, or write ABC in a cell, masuk ke Excel pun, at least you know something. You're not lying, you know something. Rather than you tak tahu langsung.
Okay, faham.
So the amanah comes in there lah. And lepas tu macam you say I know certain level, but you don't specify what the level is. So I say I know, I still know what. Bukan I tak tahu. So you're not lying.
Just weren't clear. Dia macam ada file lain kat sana.
Yes. By the way.
Faham.
But
Okay.
people tend to do that also because they want their job.
Yeah. It's very I think now also the economy is not very easy to find a job.
Yes, jadi people tend to beef it up by saying that way. That's because you want to sell yourself apa.
Yeah,
and don't cakap if you be too honest or be too frank, no one's gonna hire you. Then you have to really beef up lah, and also upskill lah. And jual skills future right? Upskill lah. You have to regardless lah, because kita pun nak be better every day kan. Not only in terms of religion, but also in terms of how you want to survive in this world lah.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so tadi you dah cakap pasal the vices of the tongue. So what's next?
The other one will be the vices of the eye, mata.
Okay.
Okay. So there's one story, is one boy. I think this from the Middle East, the video that I saw. I'm not sure if you have seen this before. That he said that he was interviewed by a person, and he said that, how do you feel about you being blind? And I said, Alhamdulillah for this blindness, because insyaAllah I hope that in akhirah Allah takkan tanya I because of the sins of my eyes, because I am being exempted from that. So vices of the eye could be many. Definitely kita tengok benda yang haram. Okay, tengok benda maksiat tapi tak buat apa-apa, haram jugalah and then tengok aurat orang dan sebagainya. So I just want to highlight on this aurat, sebab for our context we think it's harmless. We only see and assume that when tengok aurat orang is to see people yang pakai tak senonoh dan sebagainya, atau dedak aurat sebagainya, terlalu terdedah lah. However, if we know the boundaries of aurat, even lelaki dengan lelaki, perempuan is between the navel and the knee, for example. So if we see more than that, then it's still aurat lah. So kalau macam kita nampak, kalau lelaki dengan perempuan memang kena jaga aurat lah kan. Kalau sejantina tu, if you wear short skirts, if you wear shorts, you can see something which is above the knee, isn't it? Isn't that aurat also? So tu pun you have to lower your gaze, even though it doesn't affect macam tak ada apa-apa kan.
Even kali ke public, saya nampak macam sesiapa perempuan pakai macam skirt pendek ke, mesti nak kena jaga.
Kena jaga. So kalau kita biasakan, kita sendiri akan rasa malu pasal orang dedah aurat. Kita akan sendiri look away. But sometimes it's just things because it doesn't look appealing, so you feel it's harmless, doesn't affect you, but it's still a person's aurat. That's why you kena jaga. So itu pun, so even if we say for women aurat yang pusat dengan lutut, you still have to wear properly lah.
Faham?
Tak boleh pakai sembarang-sembarang dan sebagainya. Even when you're in public toilet juga kan, kena jaga juga, because people who don't understand aurat, kita tak tahu dia keluar, just now dihijabi tak keluar tudung, awas so nice hair, you cannot, macam alamak, nanti macam mana orang lain tahu. Tiba-tiba orang kat luar tahu pasal your rambut when you enter the public toilet. So itu pun kena jaga juga. So
tapi boleh ke kalau macam, cause I've heard like apa tu macam, okay, kalau like now we are Muslim, right, we cannot show our aurat to non-Muslim women, our hair, is that correct? Not to see our aurat, macam our
so the for the aurat perempuan dengan non-Muslim is the same as men. Tak boleh nampak, kau boleh nampak muka dengan tangan je. Okay, if and unless if they understand that diorang kena jaga not to share with others, then it's still okay. Pasal kita yang risau tu buat kita takut dia bilang orang kat luar.
Faham.
Kalau dia macam like she can keep it to herself, for example macam hairdress for example kan. So the Muslimah friendly dah jadi booming business tau for a salon. But if let's say dia memang all for women and dia takkan bilang orang pasal a Muslimah's hair for example, it's fine.
Okay.
You kena amanah dia lah juga. Yeah. Lagi apa? Yeah. And tengok benda-benda yang tak bermanfaat. Sebab it can the eyes ni it is the window to the mind. So whatever color you see, whatever things that you see and stuff like that, it will create information and perceptions in the mind. So if you see something which is beneficial, it will shape your mind. So if you see things which are not beneficial, yang heedless walaupun tak haram tapi membuang masa, it can also affect certain things in your mind which can affect the heart. Kan? Because when you're thinking using your akal kan, your mind, and it will reach to the heart and it can create certain perceptions jugalah. So that's why kita bukan nak rasa nak be strict ke apa ke, tapi it's again when you are introducing benda yang tak bermanfaat to yourself and you can get addicted to that and that can be normalized, hence therefore it will affect your heart and you malas nak beribadah. Yeah, like for example that macam Netflix binging tu semua kan, it can affect you that way. Yeah, so why is it from the mata? Macam mana ada kena-mengena jauh sih cerita dia, but adalah that's how it affects the heart altogether. Okay, and the next one the vices of the hand. Okay, vices of the hand dulu it's more of kita pukul orang, tampar, gaduh, mencuri, semua kan. But sekarang we are very advanced, so it goes to the fingers lah. The vices of the fingers where you start fighting online in the social media platform. So we fight a lot more there compared to physical fights, and that is equally sinful jugalah, because instead of the tongue, you are backbiting, you are tail bearing, you are slandering people with your fingers. So not only your tongue yang dah kena seal, nanti your fingers pun akan cakap dengan Allah that I have done this semua ya Allah. And then how do you want to judge yourself with Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala? How do you justify yourself to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala kan?
And I think macam kalau social media ni, the damage is more permanent.
Yes.
Because once you dah post, you dah tak boleh macam, lagi if you're a social figure or you're influencer you dah post, dia akan cepat merebak to other people. Then everybody's going to know about it. And also the thing about social media platforms or in typing, you do not understand the emotions and intonation. You can say intonation differently. And I tahu orang suka cakap I proper kan, very curriculum, very schema kan. So kalau I tak respond, I ada period at the back. But then people say, period tu you marah Tak, I tak marah. I'm just writing proper sentences. So some people think that dia letak period marah agaknya. So like tak. Tapi bila picture balik, I do sound garang, but actually I'm not. I'm just like typing, giggling and stuff like that. So it really plays a part. And sometimes my friends would say, put some emoticons at the back so people know that you are not angry or what. Is it? Ada punya tata tertib untuk berbicara. So those are some things juga. And like you said, it will spread and you can't retract that anymore. Emails can still be retract, but not WhatsApp and stuff like that. So you kena jaga lah. So again, how you jaga your tongue and how you jaga your fingers tu. Even you say, I tak cakap tapi I type. I tak type tapi you cakap. So dua-dua kena jaga because it can spread. That's true.
It can spread. And the other one is if I can conclude, would be the entire body. Okay, the entire body would be, of course, maksud buat Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala lah, disebut Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Number 1. Number 2 is putus silaturahmi, because the entire body silaturahmi. And then kita nak friends with Muhammad, you don't want to bond with your family anymore, and then you tak nak make amendments with your family anymore, and then like dah I tak nak kawan you, tak berbual you lagi, tak jumpa you lagi. Tu semua is actually a form of sin lah, which we don't know. The vices of the entire body, because you are really turning away from what Allah encourages you to do. The other one is uquq bil walidain, which is derhaka ibu bapa. Kita ingatkan macam menjawab tengking itu macam tak apalah, like it's my right, what, I dah besar apa. But tidak. Allah SWT even says in the Quran, like not even an not even the pun tak boleh. So what more to disobey the parents altogether. Yeah. And the degree of honoring the parents is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and then Prophet sallallahu first, the second, then after that the parents, and you have to honor them. Even though if they are of different religion, you have to honor them. And if they ask you to do something, if they ask you to divert from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can ignore that but still honor them as human beings because they are the ones who give birth to you. Yeah, so Allah honors them also. Yeah, jadi you have no other reason to disobey them lah. And that is also a kind of vice of the entire body. Pasal segala semua, if your heart semua, emotion semua dah tak suka kan. So again, like I said, it reflects on the limbs juga kan. That's that. And then like moving towards doing which is evil. Macam you nak, we don't rob a bank lah kan. Like people rob a bank kan, you ada keluar niat nak bunuh orang ke apa semua, nak pukul orang ke tu semua. Those are some another examples of evil which they think like macam tak ada apa-apa lah, aku cuma nak keluar je, but you know what you're going to do. Yeah, so again the intentions will be materialized to the actions kan. Yeah. So itu semua form of vices lah that you have to really consider that do you really want to do this, because it will be noted down by the angels tau. And the angels are always busy 24/7, never stop writing. I remember I was telling this to my friends that if you want minute taker, and they say the best minute takers ever, subhanallah. And they're very accurate, very accurate. And you tak boleh lepas daripada tu unless you taubat. And all the buku kita semua okay, erase, whiteboard, erase. So now that you know all this, whether you want to do it or not lah, kan. And once you have embarked on this and you dah dapat jinakkan diri dengan ni semua, the next step is to stay istiqamah. Yeah. And once you dah stay istiqamah, chances you kena ganggu mesti banyak. They whisper to you, tak apalah, you dah baik, relax sudah. So you have to maintain all that. So that's why this spiritual exercise is continuous and never ending sampai kita meninggal. Yeah, because you want to return to Allah in a state as how He gave it to you when you
how we came to this earth lah.
Kan amanah. Yeah. So if I give you an example of you kasih pinjam your phone and I give you your phone balik, your screen dah retak, kamera dah rosak, you marah tak?
Marah lah.
So sama lah juga, like you dah di amak I dah, you dah kasih I dengan ihsan, you kasih pinjam I your phone, I kena je dengan baik kan. So when I want to return, I have to make sure it's nice and neat juga as how I give it to you. If cannot better, at least that's how you give it to me. So amanah kita kat situ, and the amanah is our very self, our very
body,
existence,
our heart,
our soul, our spirituality, our physical body, and return to Him as pure as we can, as how He gave it to us. Kita baby kan masih pure kan. Not easy, but insyaAllah there will always be a way. You just have to start, insyaAllah. If you are looking for a sign, this is it.
Yes, insyaAllah. I mean, I think it's very interesting because when you said that, when you give the analogy of macam kalau kita pinjam someone punya phone, kita nak kena return it back as good as how you took it from. I'm starting to see the picture macam kita sekarang Allah bagi kita tubuh kita punya heart and everything is for us to take care. Amanah lah untuk diri kita sendiri kan, untuk menjaga. So like what you say also, it's not going to be easy, and I think there will be a lot of bumps on this journey. Definitely there will be a lot of bumps, but what I think we can try is to also include ourselves in gatherings, in beneficial gatherings, be with circles of people who are actually on the same journey with you.
Yes.
Kan macam kat Raudatul Jannah ke, you know, macam I always macam like, because we all are trying to be better people, we are trying to be better servants of Allah, and I think that the fact that Allah kurniakan or hadirkan asatizah like you all to be able to come on board, I think is something that is very macam I bersyukur sangat, because it's also macam you guys are also like my circle lah. Kira macam like, you know, I meet with you guys, I talk to you guys, I learn a lot, and I hope for the listeners also, you guys have benefited from this sharing dengan Ustazah Wan Nadia, and as much as I've actually learned a lot. So Ustazah, any last words tak untuk kita punya listeners? You nak, maybe just a word of advice ke, kalau you nak sum up you punya sharing ke, anything, just anything.
I would like, if you are asking for an advice, maybe this is the first that I would like to remind myself first. don't see opportunities of goodness as a burden, but a nikmah that Allah has chosen you. So Allah nak kasih, buat lah. An example, orang jual tisu. Kita selalu macam like, aku tengah makan sih. Nanti tepi dia belum datang je kita dah elak kan. Like, okay, imagine that as opportunity. Allah nak kasih aku pahala. Okay, so just do it lah. Yeah, so may Allah accept all of us lah, insyaAllah.
Amin, insyaAllah. And so I think we have come to the end of these 3 episodes dengan Ustazah Wan Nadia. Thank you so much for actually sharing your knowledge and also your time lah to be with us on our Dato' Jannah podcast. So so insyaAllah we will see you guys in the next episode. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum. We are back again with Ubaid. Ubaid, okay, just now you shared a lot of things about investment, about also your journey from to become an insurance agent, and now actually a prestige wealth manager. Okay, so if there are actually listeners out there who wants to take on the same path as you, who wants to be a financial consultant, so would you say that this is something that is worth going? First we talk about, would you say that this job or this field is something that is actually worth trying out for? Yeah.
Okay. So okay, so based on my own experience, so I had 0 sales experience. Yeah. So during the time of my break, I mean like before, like 1 year after my papers, after I complete my papers and before I joined the industry, I was rigorously studying about all insurance and investments and how it works before I even got into the job. The reason why, because I was passionate. Because I know I need to change. I'm changing my job, and I need to succeed here. So there is no room for failure.
So you had it in your mind that you have to do it. You have to perform in this. I see.
So I always just share a story a bit. I always look back into this story. So like these people, a group of army actually wanted to conquer a place. So when they went to conquer the place, it's by they sail through lah. And then when they went to the place and then they wanted to conquer the place, they saw that their enemy is 10 times bigger. The army is 10 times bigger. Okay. Yep. And they were like, okay, you know what? I think you're chow. So they were
don't hope anything. I understand.
They were telling the commander, bro, we chow.
Yeah, okay.
We can just leave. So then the commander replied to them, saying that, okay, how about we talk it over tomorrow morning. We just rest first. Tomorrow we talk. So in the middle of the night, the commander, what he did, he burned all the ships.
Yeah, ships.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, and after they wake up, and then they were like horrified lah, and they were thinking like, now no more ships. How are we going to go back?
Yeah, correct.
And then the commander said that, okay, now your only choice is fight or die.
Oh.
So if you want to go back to your families, the only way is
for
to
you
get
to fight.
enemy ship.
Yeah, okay.
So we have to conquer.
Okay, this is actually a very good example that we can lean on. Okay. Okay, so when we talk about being a financial agent or financial consultant, what are actually the steps that we have to go through? Are there like any exams or are there any entry tests that we have to pass?
Okay, so because it's all regulated,
and
in order for you to even become an agent or something like that, you have to actually go through 4 different types of papers.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So the purpose of it is you must make sure you know what you're doing lah. Okay, you cannot just go enter the field and after talk to people about financials. It doesn't work that way. So there's a lot of regulations and you must study and you must pass above a
certain limit lah. Okay.
75% passing mark.
75%. 75%. It's not 50%.
No,
oh my god.
Yeah. So it's strict. It's strict.
Oh, okay. But
But at the same time, as much as people think that 5% lah for people cannot lah.
Okay, actually, for listeners out there, I actually tried to see one of the papers punya ebook. It's 800 pages I cannot, it's so much. And
So the thing is that whatever you study okay. So in order to help you to study, there are always tutorials available. There are always help around you in order to make sure it's easier on your end. Yeah, it's not like you are just on your own and you study on your own, then you pass.
Yeah, you pass fail. Not a problem.
I tried your common sense.
Oh, okay. You fail. Okay. So these papers are actually they are said there's 4 exams, right? So they are actually designed in a way to maybe is it to test your skills, to test your what do you know about the market, or is it the papers are designed in a way to test you whether you know what are the laws or what are the regulations that are actually in place?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's more like there is a lot about laws. There's a lot about investment policies.
Understand? Yeah.
How it works and how are you able to calculate certain numbers.
Okay.
Then there's also a lot about CPF.
Oh.
Because for Singaporeans, we have to know about CPF. You cannot escape one, regardless whatever you are doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they make sure that it's all condensed into all these 4 papers, that you will be able to have a very good sense of knowledge on like how certain things work and how certain.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Got cut off a bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So these papers, can I actually ask that are they sponsored by the company?
Yes.
That's nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they are sponsored by the company, sponsored by the one who is actually recruiting you or the manager.
Boss Firdaus. Cannot say his
Okay.
name. Can boss? I'm just joking with you. Yeah. Okay. So these papers are sponsored by the company lah.
Yes.
Okay.
But obviously they will give you like certain amount of tries lah. Like,
Yeah.
you cannot go like 5 times, 10 times. That one cannot lah.
Understand. Okay.
So what I told myself when I actually failed my first paper, this was quite bad. So I thought like, pass with common sense. Then after I try, I failed.
You feel?
And I understood one thing is that if it's my own money, I waste anyhow, still okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So then when I think back, I understood one thing. All this is amanah. So people are paying for you, so you make sure you do a good job.
Jolly well you pass.
Yeah, because you are going to be accountable for all of this.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and at the same time, whenever the becoming a leader is another process. So if you fast track to a leader in future also, you will be responsible for those people you are bringing in.
Oh, the group that you are forming lah, basically.
Right.
Okay,
Yep.
Understand. Okay. So when you talk about the exams and then let's say we fast forward, you pass all the exams. So what happens next? For example, for me right now I have a full-time job. So if I pass all of my exams, what's going to happen? Do I have to quit my full-time job? Or am I allowed to still be contracted to my full-time job while taking the exams?
Okay, you can be contracted in your full-time job while taking your exam. Because if not, there is going to be a very big financial gap. On your end.
Okay.
So while you are employed itself, you must be taking the exams. So after you pass the exams and then you are deciding that, okay, you know what, I have saved a bit of money for my end also. Also for some business costs in future. Because this is going to be something which is self-employed. So you must be ready. Yeah. So at that point of time, I'm not asking you to like save 10k, 20k.
Okay, what is a comfortable amount you would suggest?
For me personally, I had only about 3 to 5.
Oh, when you first started lah.
Yeah,
Okay. Understand. Yeah.
So when you come in already, you must conquer. You must have that kind of mindset when you come in. Yeah. So the purpose of this kind of changing your job and venture and all that, you must know what drives you, and you must have a very strong mindset before you even come into this kind of industries. Because
one more question. When you talk about this mindset, you have to go in and conquer. Would you say that this market of financial consultant is something very saturated?
Yeah,
I think there's one fear. Maybe some people who maybe they think that, okay, I want to try. Maybe I got nothing to lose, right? But the fact that I'm a bit scared that this might be a saturated market. What if I can't perform? There are a lot of financial agents out there that are actually years in this market. They might already have a lot of passive clients. So what would you actually give or say to motivate these people who wants to actually try out this thing but are also afraid of this?
Okay, so it is saturated. Yeah, I can be
honest,
very straightforward with you. It is saturated.
Yeah.
There are a lot of new agents coming in and stuff. So, but the thing is that how active and how hungry are these agents lah. So that's another thing, because sometimes some people just come in for as part-time.
Okay.
So these kind of things you cannot be concerned about lah. There will be a lot of people out there, but your rizki is already written already.
Correct, that's true. Yeah, you just have to work hard for it lah.
Correct.
Understand.
So you have to actually have the mindset like when you come in, you know what you're gonna do. You know what are the things that has been okay, when you come in ready, you must have a very good plan on what you need to do. Yeah. So your leader must guide you along all the way until you have a very clear idea, and then you must set your own goals, and from there you work towards.
Okay, I understand.
So it must not be the other way around.
Not the leader spoon feeding you lah. You have to.
I mean, there's a lot of independent learning on your end.
Okay.
So because if you want to succeed in a place, now let's say even if it's in a corporate job lah. If you want to succeed, there is always something that you have to do more.
At your own
account.
Yeah, understand. Okay,
so there is initiatives and all that lah.
Yep. Okay, maybe last two questions. Number one, if I join as a financial agent, will I have CPF contributions?
Okay. I think okay. So recently I saw this one is about there is a program where they can provide you CPF. But I'm not very confident. I remember seeing something like that. It's a new initiative.
I see. Okay.
So but the other route is you just pay for your own CPF.
Self-contribute lah.
Self-contribute.
Okay.
So like for example, now let's say MediSave and all that, because the only thing you are required to contribute is your MediSave. You are not required to contribute to your OA and SA.
Okay, understand.
And it's better in a sense lah. Okay, why? Because now let's say if you have your own place, you will be paying by cash. Okay, why is it better? I mean, it's cash, a lot of cash going out. Why is it better? Because it reduces the accrued interest when you sell your house.
Okay, I don't know anything about it. Okay.
Whatever you pay by CPF to your house, it builds up interest, accrued interest. So
using your CPF money?
Yes, just because you are using CPF money to pay. Because, CPF money is like macam, it must be there all the time.
Even if it's our own money, we still have to pay.
Correct.
Oh my God, okay, understand.
So, whatever is being used from there to pay for your house, so when you decide to sell it, you will think that you will have a lot of profit. But no, there is a
lot of interest.
Because there is money to be paid back to CPF together with the
interest. So paying by cash is better because you...
Yes. So you will see more cash in hand when you sell your house.
I see. Okay. Maybe that's a good advice lah for those who want to get a house in the future.
Right.
Okay. Last question I want to ask you. For those who are actually keen to become a financial advisor, are there any like skills that they have to have? Okay. So when I do like specific interviews, okay. So because I'm recruiting as well because I'm in this industry for 4 years already. So I want to have my own team and then I want to guide them accordingly to replicate the process. I won't say success lah because success to everyone is different, subjective. Correct.
Okay. So what for me I think very important is you must have the proper mindset lah. So I always emphasize on that. So you must be hungry. You cannot come in to like
understand. You have to work basically.
So because if you want to see the fruits of it, you have to work hard. Everywhere you go, you have to work hard.
True.
That sometimes you just flow by. But if you work hard, you will be able to see more rewards. So if you don't work so hard, then you cannot expect for more rewards.
It's fair lah. In that way, it's fair. Correct. What you give, you will get it back in return.
Correct.
Okay.
So there is always a lot of support from the agency lah, from the team leader, whoever brings you in. There's always will be support. Meaning support not like I spoon feed you. I go close this one. I do everything already. It's not like that. It's meaning like the
guidance, the help is there.
Yes.
Understand.
So because you need skills for sales. You cannot just talk then Yeah, just because I can talk, I can close.
You can close. I understand. Yeah, true.
So it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So there is more like less talking and more listening.
To be a financial agent, like
Yes, correct.
Okay, understand.
You must understand people's needs first. Yeah.
Okay.
So only if people understand that you understand their needs, they will trust you.
you. That's where you build the trust lah.
Correct.
Understand.
Yes.
Okay.
So one last thing.
Yeah.
I think that will be all. That will be all.
Okay, so if for all the listeners, para pendengar yang who are probably interested to maybe do a career switch or to actually venture into this field, you can actually reach out to his socials lah. Yeah, so thank you Ubaid actually for being with us, for sponsoring our episodes, and any maybe last words that you have for those who are really keen. What are some of the motivational things that you can actually say to them? Last words
Last words. Okay, I think if you are a person who is hungry, determined, and you want to change your life and change the life of people around you, especially not only, you want to also contribute more to the community, because if you earn more, if you are able to contribute more.
Yep.
So if you have this kind of drives behind you that actually keeps you going, so this might be false. This might be something for you.
Okay. Thank you, Ubaid. Thank you so much for actually being here with us again.
Thank you so much for the invite.
No worries. And I pray that may you succeed in this journey. May you have a big group with you soon.
Inshallah. Amin. Inshallah, may Allah grant you a lot of success.
Amin. Inshallah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, to the listeners, we will see you guys actually in the next episode. Assalamualaikum.
ما لي غيرك أحد أدعوك واترجى